Greetings. All right, so this is going to be just another topic of discussion that I feel like will benefit some of you out there. Something common that I feel like as humans we deal with. I'm going to speak from a woman's perspective because that's, the only perspective. I can't, speak from a man's perspective fully, unless, you know, someone shares their experience with me or something like that. But other than that, anyone can apply this message if it resonates with them. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about the effects of internalizing rejection from past lovers, partners, or love interests, people that you've had feelings for, interest in, or can adults still say crushes? So I'm going to kind of talk about that a little bit. But before I do, you guys, if you have any topics of discussion that you would like to discuss here on the channel, questions, any topics you'd like to share, you guys can check out my website. On the right hand of your screen, you will see a chat bubble where you can click and insert your question or your topic or discussion. If you like to go anonymous, you can rename anonymous. Just let me know. Or you guys can also email me your questions or discussions or topics. Okay. All right. So this message is like a little heavy for me to even like talk about. So I'm trying to make it quick and straight to the point because you guys know how I am. But we're going to talk about internalizing rejection. So rejection within itself is a spirit. The spirit of rejection is ultimately something that is a spiritual oppressive spirit, right? It's something that oppresses you. It sabotages you. It causes a person to feel overlooked, unworthy and misunderstood, specifically in love, where let's say for instance, in spite of your best efforts, or you attempting to love someone as best as to your ability, and you feel like that person still just doesn't appreciate you, or this person still ends up cheating on you, or constantly is hurting you or abusing you, or if it's someone that you have feelings for. So like I said, internalizing it is very dangerous because you keep that all inside within yourself. Sometimes you carry that weight with you. Like I said, rejection is a spirit. So what happens is you carry that energy around. So if you look at the word internalize means to make part of one's nature by learning or unconscious assimilation. So it makes up of your attitudes or your behavior. So you could walk around internalizing the spirit of rejection, and it starts to become a part of you. It starts to become a part of your everyday life. It starts to become a part of your attitude, your behaviors, right? If you look up the word assimilation, it's the process of taking in or fully understanding information or ideas. Can also absorbing something. So when you are walking around with this internalized rejection, it's like a process of something that you've taken in. You've kind of made it into an idea or belief of yours, right? So, every other situation that you go into, and this might even spill into other situations or relationships outside of romantic ones, where you kind of feel like, okay, I'm overlooked. No one loves me. Nobody cares. I'm purposeless. No one's ever going to want to commit. You start carrying that inside of you because of that internalization. And that's why it's very important that we heal. And I always, believe that it's not healthy for a man or a woman to just jump from relationship to relationship and not have that time to really heal yourself, to sit with yourself and release and make sure that you fully let go of the situation, or that you fully forgave the person or yourself, and you're not stuck in that timeline to where you're still walking in the same energy, to where you're going to attract and manifest the same type of experiences or the same type of lovers, right? So it's very important that you take time out for yourself. You don't have to be occupied with the next man or the next woman. You know what I mean? But I digress. People gonna do what they do. It is what it is. But for me, when I dealt with this rejection when it comes to lovers, I found that I was always not being picked. It would always be like other women involved. I would see like, okay, if I was in the picture, it was always, okay, this person ended up being with someone else after all, or in the end deciding to entertain other people or friend zone me. So I always had this thing where I felt like I was never the person's type, or I'm always the one being friend zoned. And it's because, you know, it could be a multitude of things, because I do believe that there's a divine rejection where spirit causes the wrong people to reject you so that you're protected. You know, spirit keeps you in protection, versus the spirit of rejection that, you know, the enemy uses to, you know, tear you down and make you believe that you're unworthy. And you'll start carrying that essence and that spirit on you, to where any person that you come in contact with, you'll start to repeat those same experiences. And it's really because it goes really deep, because it goes back to self-love. It goes back to believing that you have an identity, that you have a divine identity beyond what another man or woman thinks of you. You know, whether you look like the supermodel, whether you look like the Instagram model, or whatever the case may be, or you do or you don't, that you still know that you are the shit, right? You're not comparing yourself. You're not feeling lesser than if someone decides not to be with you, or if someone does happen to cheat on you, that it doesn't take away your value and your worth. You'll perceive it differently, like, okay, it's his or her loss, or it just wasn't meant to be. I'm just moving on. Instead of saying what's wrong with me, or comparing yourself to someone else, or feeling like this person, because they did this, that means that I'm unworthy. You know what I mean? So you never want to internalize rejection. And if you have, because I feel like I carried that rejection to the point where I was almost hiding and afraid to be embraced, or to be seen, or to be loved by people, because of that fear of repeating the same cycle, and feeling as though, okay, if I go into something, or if I allow someone to love me, or if I allow people to embrace me, whether it's romantically, platonically, whatever, it's just going to end up with them seeing that I'm not the best fit, or that they'll want to be with someone else, or someone that looks like this, or because, you know, it's not a healthy thing to have that, because like I said, the rejection is a spirit of oppression. It's meant to oppress you and to keep you stuck, and to keep you from seeing your true authentic self, and seeing your value and your worth. And one of the steps with this is to seek God, the divine, the Holy Spirit, and say, show me the areas of my life that I've allowed the spirit of rejection to take hold in my life. Reveal to me the word curses that I've spoken over myself, or I allowed other people to speak over me, or that I've carried and internalized and believed, or the experiences that I believed that made me feel unworthy, and to release it. And start seeking who you are. You know, ask God to reveal to you, what is my true identity? Who am I really? And start building your confidence and your, and this is something that you got to work on daily. Coming from experience, and coming from someone that's actively healing this aspect, you have to constantly, you know, seek the good in yourself, and the things that cannot be stripped from you. Like your looks is they're going to change. You know, your status is going to change. Your earthly titles will change. But the things that you can't change, such as your character, such as your heart, the things that you've done to help people, or the love that you give, or whatever it might be that you can't take away from you, those are the things that you want to feed and build upon and pour life into, and seek what God says about you. You know, whether that's getting into the word, whether that's, you know, divine affirmations, whether that is you being in gratitude and speaking to yourself kindly. It comes over time, because you know, we got to check ourselves, because we can say negative things about ourselves. And if we carry those words, because those words, they have vibrations, they have energies, we carry those things over us, we speak that over ourselves, we walk in those lower vibrational things that we say about ourselves, and we'll manifest that and we'll project that outwardly. And, you know, let's say, for instance, you say to yourself, I'm always getting cheated on, or no man ever looks at me, or every man, they want a woman that looks like X, Y, and Z, or that has this size, this body type, this whatever, skin tone, blah, 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 right? And you walk around with that, you're going to attract those experiences until you break free out of that spiritual oppression, to where you can start combating that. But in short, I'm going to leave it at that. Much love as always. Be blessed, be safe, take care, peace.